You are an indie author and you're self-publishing on a tight budget. You wrote your manuscript and you have a beautiful image for your book cover. Whether you're using stock photos or you have an AI generated image or you drew it yourself. That's part of the equation for having a beautiful book cover. Now you need a professional grade looking text typography. Today I'm going to show you how to do professional looking grade text typography for free. My name is Karen. I am an indie author and I use AI technology to create beautiful pre-made book covers for other indie authors who are self-publishing on a tight budget. Okay, here we are in the Canva home interface. And everything that I will be using today is the free version. If you have the paid version of Canva, that is awesome. You will have access to a lot more than what I'll be using today. But that doesn't mean if you're using the free version, you won't be able to create a beautiful, professional-looking book cover with the text. And right now, today, we're just doing typography to have it look like a nice professionally created book. Now, if you've never been on Canva before, you don't have an account, it is super simple to get an account. So all you do is you go to canva.com. And this is what it will look like. If you haven't been on for a long time, you can log in here if you have old login information, or you could sign up right here by clicking there. And you can sign up with your Google account, or you can sign up with an email address. Okay, so this is the interface depending on when you're looking at this video, because Canva is always upgrading and doing all kinds of wonderful things and being able to be more and more creative. But the two most important things for you to think about when you're doing typography for your book cover is readability, particularly as a thumbnail, as well as it being genre appropriate. And for you to have an example of what I'm talking about with genre appropriate, you head on over to Amazon, you type in whatever, let's say you're doing sweet romance. Okay, sweet romance novel. This will give you, and if you look at the top sellers, this will give you a good idea as to what kind of font this type of genre uses. So that's a sweet romance. You go through, get a good idea of what it's supposed to look like. Let's say you want to do fantasy novels, and of course within every genre there are subgenres. So there's dark romance and sweet romance, contemporary romance. Within fantasy there's YA fantasy, urban fantasy, dark fantasy, and all of that. Fantasy. So let's go look at fantasy novels for adults. And you go through and you look at the fonts and get some inspiration and ideas as to what you can do with that. Anyway, heading back over to Canva, the very most simplest thing you can do is to use these templates that are right here. Even if you're doing social media, websites, those kind of things, they have templates for almost everything. And there's also a control panel over here on the left side that you can go through and just see what everything does and figure things out. So let's just click on book cover, and you can click on this icon here that says book cover, or you can type it in here, book cover, in the search bar, and all of these book covers come up. So super simple. Just look for a font that you like. And if you're using the free version, the only thing you have to be careful with is that you don't choose one of these with the little crown on the right corner. Those are for pro. And in order for you to use this as a template, you'll need to upgrade, but we're not doing that today. We're using the free version. So these, like for instance, these without the little crown, these are the free versions. Here's a nice one. It's a very contemporary design. It does not have that little crown, so we'll click on that. And once you click on that, you can say customize this template, or you can keep going through and see what else that you can probably use. This is a nice one too, but we're going to just keep it simple and use this one right here. You click on where it says customize this template, Now the one thing you always want to do is to delete the asset or the background picture. This background picture belongs to Canva, and you may or may not have permission to use that. Sometimes if you go to download your picture, you spend all that time doing the typography, you go to download and it wants to charge you. It's probably because they still have Canva assets on there, so their background picture. So you click on the background picture, this menu comes up at the top, you click on the little garbage pail to delete. So you deleted that. So this is some stars. Let's go back. Here's the back arrow in case you ever do anything that you want to undo. You click that. So when I deleted the background picture, these little stars and moon vanished because it's white on white, you couldn't see it. But I would go ahead and just delete that as well. So delete that, and we're just keeping the text. Okay, now we can click on the background and delete the background. Okay, so now we have just a text and a clear background, and what we do is we're going to be using this panel on the side here. Look at all these things. You can feel free to go through and experiment and do things like that, but right here, the uploads button, you click on the upload icon, and here you can, oh, I didn't know you could record yourself. Very cool. All right, upload files, and you go to wherever you have files in your book and you upload it. Let's upload this one. And you can see it filling up here and here. It's not quite ready. There it is. You click on that and it appears on your canvas. You stretch it out from end to end, and as you're creating, I like to extend mine just a fraction over the edge and then align it with the locks in place until it's fully centered. That way I don't end up with any white spaces around the edges. And what I also do is I lock that picture in place, because as you're moving around the texts like this, you don't want this picture to move. So we will, right up here, you have some things here, some little icons. This is a little lock. You can lock the page, so then that will not move. If you want to unlock it to move it around, you have to unlock it. Here you can duplicate the page, and here you can add another page if you're doing something like a postcard or whatever. Okay, so we have that page locked. What we have here now is dark font on dark background, and that won't work too well. What we want is dark font on light background, or light font on dark background. So with this font here, we are going to change the color, and we do this by this menu that is at the top up here. You can change the font color, you can change the font style, you can change the font size, and then you can do the alignment and spacing and effects, transparency, and things like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to double click here, and then we're going to go up here to the text color, the little A, and this menu here appears. Now you can use one of the pre-made colors, pre-designed colors. Let's just go with white for now. Alright, and click outside and you'll see it turn to white, and now you can place it anywhere on here and it'll stand out much better. Now you can also, I'll double click again and go back up here to the text color. You can also choose a different color. You can choose one of the pre-made colors from here, or you can choose the color wheel over here and change and kind of massage the color into whatever you want it to be. But remember, even if you choose a color, you want it to be a light color, and you also want it to have some kind of effect that will look nice on this particular background. This has some purple in it, and it also has some blue accents in it, so we can go with blue, and we can go with a purplish type color as well. But just most importantly, just play around with it until you get what exactly you're looking for. But for now, we're going to leave that as white. And we also have this text down here. Okay, and we'll call this a the author name. It's still dark, so we want to change that color right away. So we go to text color and we make it white. We also want to change the size. You can look for different font styles here, but for now we're going to just keep that font style, and we're going to keep adding. You can type in a number for whatever size font you want for that, or you could just press on the plus sign. Okay, now in the hierarchy of the font sizes, it goes like this. The name of the novel should be the biggest, the name of the author should be second in terms of size, and the subtitle, book number, stuff like that, quotes, stuff like that, should be the smallest. The most important thing is to remember that it must be able to be seen from the thumbnail size on the Amazon page. And now we have the author name, and another thing you can do with the author name is to space out the letters sometimes if it looks too jumbled up, depending on what style of font you choose. You can go up here with this little 3 bars and the arrow, click on that, and that says spacing. Now you can do letter spacing or you can do line spacing if you have more than one line. So we'll do the letter spacing, and if you find like you run out of space like that, you can just expand the box. Make sure it's in the middle and it's aligned center. There we go. And this, we adjusted the spacing. Sometimes you have to click out when you can't move it. If it's not locked, then you just have to click outside and then go back in here to drag it around. And you have these alignment lines that'll help you keep it centered. Okay, so we have this, and we have the subtitle or the quote or the author accolades or anything like that. You can place it there, or you can place it down under the font of the title of the book. I accidentally duplicated this and it ended up with 2, so just get rid of that one, and we bring this back down. Okay, so now with book cover, the font placement is believed that rules are changing, but the general rule is the font should take up 20 to 30% of the book cover image. So depending on the image, you can follow that rule or break the rules. Anyway, so let us bring this a little lower, and we'll bring this back down here. Doesn't always have to be perfectly centered. Just be mindful of how you want the picture to display. Don't block the main features. So, but anyway, we're gonna go back here to this font, and we're gonna add a little bit of a text, and it's fine the way it is. It looks professional. We're gonna take it one step further and add an effect, and the effect we're gonna add, the box comes up here, and you can do multiple effects for this. So we're just gonna add a shadow under it, and it's a dark shadow. And we're also going to adjust the intensity. So this is at 50% automatically, but we can adjust the intensity all the way up to 100. You can see the subtle difference there. It helps the text to stand out from the background of the page. And there you have it, super simple. Forgot to show you real quick, you just change the text in the title box to the name of your own book. Now to download, you come up here to the upper right side corner. You click on the little download, click on the little download icon. You want a JPEG if it's to be uploaded onto KDP. And this 1410 by 2550 pixels is actually a decent high res quality to upload onto Kindle, and the quality is 80. Now you could get a higher resolution, but only if you see these have the little crown on it, the little gold crown. That means If you want a higher even resolution than this, then you'd have to pay there and upgrade your plan. But anyway, the free version is just fine enough for ebooks. So we click on download right there, and it'll go ahead and download, and you save it on any place in your file that you want. And there you have it.